Okay, welcome back to AB Guitar. Today we're going to look at Love Me Do by the Beatles. Love me do, you know I love you, I'll always be true, so please, love me do, oh, love me. So for this one you've got two main chords throughout the verse, which are G and what's called a C add 9 chord, which we're going to be using that C add 9, so that's a nice, easy, simple transition between the two chords. You've just got these fingers down the whole time and you're just moving two fingers back and forth. Okay, so let's look at the shapes first of all, learn the chord shapes, and then we'll look at the strumming pattern later on. Okay, your first chord is a G chord. You've got your second finger on the 3rd fret of the bottom E string, so this one. You got your first finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, this. So 3rd fret of the E string, 2nd fret of the A string. And then I'll do these two separately. So little finger or 4th finger is on the top E string, 3rd fret, and your 3rd finger is just above that on the B string, 3rd fret. So 3rd fret top E string, 3rd fret B string. Okay, and then add those two back on. So that's your full G chord. And just strum that with your right hand. Make sure it's all sounding. If it's not sounding properly, it's often that you're a bit too near the fret or fingers are muting other strings and that sort of thing. So just kind of like feel your way around and look at your hands, see if anything's touching a string it shouldn't be, that sort of thing. That's the two things that usually happen if there's like buzzing or kind of muting the strings. So get that sounding nice, and then take your hand off, put it back, just practice doing that. So take it off, put the shape back, just to get the shape ingrained so you can go to it quickly. So that's your G chord. Once you're happy enough with that, you're going to go to your C chord, your C add 9. The way you do that is you keep these two little fingers on, so they're going to stay down the whole time. And the two, your index finger and your second finger, are going to go from this, your G shape. They're going to come off together if you can. So try and get that coordination, them coming off and on together. And you're just going to move them down one string each. So it's going to go from there, E string and A string, to the A string and D string. So your second finger should now be on the 3rd fret of the A string, and your first finger should be on the 2nd fret of the D string. So from there to there. And these stay the same. Now when you're strumming this one, you want to strum just from the A string. So like this. So you're not hitting the bottom E string. Okay, so just from the A string. That's it. And same thing with this one, take it off, put it on, take it off, put it on, and then just start practicing the transition. So just go G, C, G, C, just with one strum and really concentrating on your left hand and that transition between chords. Okay, so that's the chords. Now we're going to add the right hand, so we're going to look at the strumming pattern. So your full strumming pattern is down, down, up, up, down, up. So I'm going to break that down into two sections. The first one is just down, down, up. So down, down, up. Now you want to keep your hand going. So this hand, your right hand should be just going down, up, down, up, down, up, regardless of if you're hitting the strings or not. So, and you want to do that every time you're strumming. So whatever the strumming pattern, your hand is just consistently down, up, down, up, down, up. And that's because otherwise it will start to sound a bit robotic and you won't be able to speed it up properly, and it won't have the flow to it. So when it sounds all stilted, that's kind of what you want to avoid. So you just want it really to flow down, up, down, up, down, up, and you choose when you're hitting the strings or not. Okay, so taking that first section, you're going to go down and then up silently without hitting the strings, and then you're ready for your next downstroke. Down, up. Okay, so you went down, up silently, down, up. So down, down, up. Okay, down, down, up. See, it looks like it's got flow to it if you speed it up, down, down, up. My hand's keeping going. So that's your first bit, down, down, up. Practice that slowly, get that comfortable. Do it with the chord if you want, sounds a bit nicer. So down, down, up, down, down, up. Okay, so now you want to move on to the second section of the strumming. That's just up, down, up. And you're hitting the strings the whole time. So up, down, up. Up, down, up. The thing is, you want to be ready for your upstroke for the second section. So at the end of the first section you went down, down, up, and you ended up here, so at the top of the guitar. So your hand's not where it should be for the next upstroke. For the next upstroke you want it to be at the bottom of the guitar. So you're just going to have to go down silently again without hitting the strings. So down, down, up, you were here at the top, go down silently, and then your second half is just up, down, up. So whole thing, down, down, up, up, down, up. So down, down, up, silent downstroke, up, down, up. Down, down, up, up, down, up. Okay, so it will sound a little bit strange at first. It won't sound like the song because it's too, when it's slow, it just feels like you're just counting. It doesn't really make sense musically. Once you start to speed it up, it will sound like it's flowing and it'll sound like the song. So, and of course, probably play the chords, that helps as well. So down, down, up, up, down, down, up, down, up. So now you've got the chords down, you've got the shapes down, you've got your strumming pattern down. Now you want to put them together. So what you're going to do, start out on your G chord, so get that down in your left hand. And you're going to go 1 times around the strumming pattern on each chord. So on your G, down, down, up, down, up. Transition to your C chord with your left hand. Same thing, 1 times around the strumming pattern. Down, down, up, down, up. And then back. Now a little tip is to, before you get to the end of one chord and you suddenly end up where you think, oh, I've got to change chord now. So don't get to the end of the strumming pattern, down, down, up, down, up, and then go, oh, now I've got to put my fingers on the C. Try and think a little bit ahead to do that, but also you can take your fingers off. So the 2 that you're moving, your index and your second finger, the 2 that are going to come off, they can come off when you're on your last stroke. So down, down, up, down, up. They're going to come off at the same time as that upstroke. So it will sound slowed down. It doesn't sound very good because you hear the open strings. So you've got down, down, up, down, and then up and off at the same time. So you might hear that not the greatest sound. But when you're doing it quickly, it's fun because you can go down. So you don't really hear it once it's sped up. So just practice doing that on your last upstroke. So you're coming up with your right hand and taking your 2 fingers off. And then you're placing your 2 fingers back down as you play the downstroke, or just before. So you want them ready to play the downstroke. Not get onto the upstroke and then go, oh, I've got change, okay, there we go, changed. So that's a little tip to make it just gives you a little bit more time between chords. So the other little section in this song is that you've got that, so please love me do. So you've got that stop on the C. So the last time you play it, normally you're going just G to C for a while. The last time round, you're going to stay on the C and you're going to add 2 more times around the strumming pattern. So you've gone, you know I love you, so please, 2 times round. So you had 2 extra times round And then you're just going to add one downstroke at the end of that. At the end of please, you're going to put a downstroke and then quickly come and mute the strings. So just practice strumming down through the C chord, and then you come up quickly and just mute the strings just by touching them. So you can put your whole hand on to stop them ringing. And it's fairly quick, it's so it's kind of that. Doesn't have to be hard, just gently touch them to mute everything. So stop the sound. Love me do. So then you're back into that, back onto your G chord. So that whole section is so please love me do. And then back into the transition between G and C. Okay, well, have fun with that one. I hope you enjoy playing it, and I'll see you very soon.